The morning sun broke over the tents of Israel as Moses gathered the people at the entrance of the tabernacle. A hush fell when he read aloud the solemn commandments of Leviticus 20. Fathers and mothers trembled at the warnings against child sacrifice. As Moses declared that anyone who gave their seed to Molech would be cut off from among the people, the elders bowed their heads when he spoke against witchcraft, idolatry, and sexual disorders, abomination, demanding swift and public justice. The camp felt the weight of holiness. The Lord's people must be separate, for the Lord himself was their God. Inside the tent of meeting, Aaron and his sons prepared for their priestly duties. Moses reminded them of Leviticus 21 and 22. No priest with a blemish might minister before the Lord. No defiled man might approach the holy things. Aaron's hands trembled as he lifted the showbread and handled the offerings. Mindful that a single misstep could profane the sanctuary, he recalled his calling, knowing that the holiness of the Lord set him apart, not for honor, but for sober vigilance over the sacred. As the Day of Atonement approached, the entire congregation assembled at the tabernacle courtyard. Moses instructed them in the solemn rites of Leviticus 23, the Sabbaths and appointed feasts, the holy convocations. Trumpets sounded for the 7th month, calling them to rest from labor. On the 10th day, Aaron donned pure linen, no wool, no dye, entered the Holy of Holies, bearing the blood of the sin offering. The people stood silent, confessing their sins over the head of the live goat, which was then sent away into the wilderness. Through ritual and repentance, Israel found restoration under the shadow of divine mercy. Early on the morrow, while the incense still smoldered, Moses instructed Aaron in Leviticus 24. 12 loaves were placed upon the pure gold table, and pure olive oil kindled the lamps before the veil continually. 2 men quarreled at the camp's edge, and in the heat of anger, one cursed the name of the Lord. Bound and brought before Moses, the blasphemer's fate was sealed by divine ordinance. He was to be stoned without the camp, that God might be sanctified among the people. Scene 5. The year of release and jubilee hope under a starlit sky. Moses taught them, Leviticus 25. Every 7th year, the land was to rest. Debts were to be forgiven, servants released. They listened to the promise of the 50th year, the year of jubilee, slaves freed, lands returned to ancestral families. An old man wept as he remembered debts he could never repay. His daughter smiled, dreaming of fields regained. In those laws, Israel glimpsed God's heart, compassion woven into justice, mercy hand in hand with freedom. On the plains of Moab, before the people crossed the Jordan, Moses reminded them of Leviticus 26. Obedience would bring rain in due season, abundant harvests, and peace in their borders. Their enemies would fall before them. The land would yield her increase, but disobedience would bring famine, disease, and exile. As the wind carried the words of promise and warning across the camp, each man and woman felt the choice laid bare, life or death, blessing or curse. In the shade of the tent, a mother approached Aaron to dedicate her firstborn. Moses explained Leviticus 27. Each vow to the Lord carried a price. Age and gender determined the valuation. Gold, silver, oxen, sheep, and even houses could be dedicated, and the Lord would accept the gift. The mother laid coins upon the altar, trusting that her child belonged wholly to God, invested in his service and his care. As twilight fell, the people lingered at the tabernacle doors. The laws of Leviticus 22:27 had been proclaimed, statutes of purity, rituals of atonement, rhythms of Sabbath and Jubilee, the promise of blessing, the price of devotion. In every command lay a path to encounter the holy God, and though the journey through obedience would be long, Israel departed that day with renewed hearts set apart, sanctified, and ever mindful that they served a righteous and compassionate Lord. If you enjoyed this short story on Leviticus 22:27, Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you, and God bless.